dummies, I am I am at a crossroads. I am at well, much less of a crossroads, more of a, I feel I am being tugged on either side. Part of me is saying, record the podcast, have fun. Enjoy yourself, make something for the dummies, give them something, you know? I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. And I love doing this. It feels like a part of me is being put out there. On the other end, though, I am severely depressed. Just neglecting responsibilities, isolating myself, trying to figure it out. But it's just hard, you know, because part of me wants to just go on, pretend nothing's wrong. But I don't think that'd be honest. I don't think that's the way of a dummy. So, excuse me for kind of being a downer and being a little bit more depressed. I'm sorry I missed last week. It's been debilitating. But I'm here, dummies. How's it going, guys? This week I'd seen some fun things. Thank goodness, I will just die laughing. Nothing could ever, I just can't stop. It's just funny at some points, you know. But there was I'd seen this guy post on a Snapchat story, just a picture of the cement, and it just, the quote was, "Whoever hacked my debit card, a bitch." And then he posted it to his Snapchat story. And you just think, like, oh, I hope they're not in here. How many friends do you have? Who is this? Yeah, are you letting us, well, I'm sorry that your debit card was hacked. I too think they are a bitch. Don't know what else. Why are you putting that on your story? Hey, whoever hacked my debit card, I'm gonna beat your ass. I just bought my fucking plane ticket to Thailand, bitch. I saw where you tried to buy that fucking rice, and I'm gonna beat your fucking ass. Hey, whoever hacked my debit card, a bitch. I saw your fucking ass try to buy some Confederate flag swim trunks down in Florida, and I'm gonna come down there and beat the shit out of you, ho. Let them know. Like, who is it? What are how many people do you have on Snapchat? This is just, I just want to know what the confines of what I'm working with. I saw a beautiful, they used to call them social experiments back in my day, you know? A guy goes out into the public and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna yell the N-word, and whoever lets me get to the end gets $5,000." And then he just like, nah, like just like going through it like a motorcycle engine, like getting up to like 80 or whatever, you know, or like a foreign car getting up to 80, you know. And so those used to be the social experiments, right? What was the Joey Salads one? I think it was like parking my Trump car in a black neighborhood. And so he just like was like, social experiment. That's what you say at the end of whatever racist act you're doing. You just say social experiment. And so then his car was in a neighborhood with a bunch of Trump stuff on it, and then just like three men, I don't remember what the exact minority was, but it looked like three men of color basically came out and just destroyed his fucking car, just beat the shit out of it. People were leaving like insanely racist things in the comments and stuff. It was really bad for him. And this is also the guy that ran for senator after trying to after pissing in his own mouth on camera. And so that just used to be the social commentary I'm used to. I'm an American. It's simple to please, you know? I want to see violence. I want to buy your humility, right? I want you to piss in your mouth on camera and then run for governor and then ask, why won't this work, right? Because people have seen you piss in your mouth. But in a similar way, I'm watching this skit, and there's this guy, and he's talking, he's like, Oi, mom. May I ask you a question? I'm trying to get the accent down. He's from the UK, and so he starts talking to this cop, and it's a African American. Well, I guess not. It's a black man, right? And he's talking to a police officer, and the police officer's blonde, hot, and she's like young, and so she's sitting there like talking to him. She's like, "Oh, what's up?" And he's like, "May I get your number? Could I get your number, maybe? You know?" And sorry, I was listening to Australians earlier too. But so as he's asking for a number, she's like, no, no, no. So by the like 8th time that he asks her, she's like, okay, fine. And there's like people right there in front of him. It's like in front of a cafe. So there's about probably like 2 or 3 couples in front of him, right? So probably like 4 to 6 people. And so they're like, he's like, oh, okay, just write your number down right here, huh? And so, isn't it? And so she writes down the number, and then she just like does a backflip into a handstand and does the splits for him, and like looks him in the eye, and then like walks off. He's like, "I'm gonna fuck me a police officer, eh?" And like the whole time he's being like, "Oi, mum, may I get some of your police ass? You know, the pussies. I don't." No, you get what I'm going for. But he was continually hitting on her. And this is full Australian. It was very odd. It sends weird ideas about consent. First off, right? You're like, well, what the hell? But then I started to think to myself, mate, is the message of the video ask a police officer until they let you fuck them? And I think to myself, yes, it is. So here's what I'm thinking, right? So this guy brought up some good points. So you go up to the police and you're like, hey, can I get your number? And they're like, no, I have to go, actually, right? So that's a great, like, deterrent, right? You see a bunch of police and you just get, like, the biggest men in your neighborhood. You just be like, hey, I need y'all to go see if you can fuck them. And they're like, oh, all right, for sure. They're like, hey, they're harassing little Tony, all right? So I need you guys to get over there, and I need you to harass him, okay? And they're like, okay, for sure. So like, all right, like fighting fire with fire. So like you just get the biggest men you have, your fathers, your uncles, even your grandfathers if they are able-bodied, and you send them out to slap the police on the ass, maybe like stick a finger in their butt if they're not looking like right, you like, hey bitch, what's your name, where you lay at night, just start getting real like vulgar with it. And just I think it's a good idea, right? You just have some police harassing you and they're like, we're gonna check you for drugs, and you're like, all right, but here's my buddy and he's here to check you for drugs. And they're like, what? And then he's like, spread them, I think this is a good idea. I think if we could probably have some sexual harassment training so people are kind of getting better at it, so they know like, oh, the cop's down here to put the guy in handcuffs. It's a perfect finger up the butt opportunity. I think there's other less like assaulty ways like we could do it, especially if you're not wanting to do more of the guerrilla warfare sexual harassment. You can definitely hit on them from afar. We could get megaphones. Finding little pet names for officers is very nice. Mr. Shiny Badge, things like that. They love that. Mr. Walkie and Talkie, that one was a favorite. Okay, I've done this myself. Some officers the other day, they're walking up and down the neighborhood, and I'm like, what's up? They're like, oh, we just got a phone call about a dog. I said, oh, did you, sweet cheeks? Guess what? I think I found the dog, and I think it just found a bitch. Mr. Sweet Cheeks, I think I just found a bitch. And then me and him made love. And now he's here more often, and it's a lot more confusing now. And I'm not sure. I think I'm in. It was very funny to just see a skit and some guys just like, what if I got this woman to dress like a police officer, and then she fucks me, bruv, isn't it? And you're like, I don't know. Okay. Great idea, though. There's also, and bow your heads, you're probably wondering, you think to yourself when I say depression, you think, how did these things happen? From what does depression rise? And I will tell you. From sick acts, like, for example, there's a shootout this weekend. In Mexico, south of the border. "11 cartel members and a cute little monkey were shot. The poor guy was dressed in a vest, bulletproof, a jacket, and a diaper, which, is not only sad, but could you imagine the officer that's going up on the bodies? And he's like, Jesus Christ, I just shot a 3-year-old in Dior. Oh, that's a spider monkey. Okay, well, thank God. That's gonna be another ticket on their families' lives. We are charging them money now for animal smuggling. Fantastic. The monkey did not have to die. I know we have not had riots like this since Harambe, which I know it's cringy to say. I don't like to say, but this monkey was not just a mascot. He had a favorite jacket, and they killed him in cold blood. Oh, so it's illegal to have this monkey here? Oh, so it's not like he could consent to being a drug smuggling monkey? It's not his fault. Would you beat Apu's ass? No, not Apu. I think that's the Indian guy at the gas station. Abu? I think that's the guy. I think that's the monkey on. I think Abu is the monkey on Aladdin. Is this just another racist sketch? I don't know. Maybe it's all one. Maybe this is all God's one big racist sketch. I'm not here to say. I've lost my train of thought. I don't even. What are we doing? It was very sad though. You see that monkey go on. You see smugglers and stuff. I don't know how I feel about animal smuggling. Right? I think our lives are bad enough that the animals could probably take a back seat for a few years till we figure out like what the Chinese are doing with Muslims and things. But can't wait to be awarded my negative social score for saying that. There's another one this week though. That was some fun news. It was Ted Cruzs, and he's explaining loot boxes, right? So people are like, well, loot boxes are gambling for children. They're not good. They introduce things to children that they shouldn't be getting introduced to, which is just gambling, trying to buy things to get the best one, and you keep doing it with very little incentive from the game, where if you buy more, you get a lot of incentive to gamble, right? Especially on things like CSGO, where you can sell them for real money at times. I don't think you can do that anymore, but where you could, where it's like, oof, that's a very slippery slope for children, right? Ted Cruz starts explaining, though, he's like, well, loot boxes basically are things that you can buy, and he's not fully wrong with how media has portrayed loot boxes. You get to where you have this very fluid definition because people start grasping on they don't fully understand. But he starts explaining how there are things you can get in a game that will improve what you do in the game, or not just make you better, but also surpass certain things, maybe cosmetic items that you would have to work 6 months to a year for, that you would just get in a day for $5 to $10, sometimes $20, you know? And he starts explaining, he's like, listen, I get it, but even I sometimes will do it. I don't have time. I'm a full-time working guy. Ted Cruz is the one buying fucking loot boxes? These corrupt fucking politicians are taking our fucking money and doing goddamn nothing so that they can teabag and cunt fuck me on Call of Duty? Are you kidding me? This fucker is a Republican and he's playing Call of Duty and buying loot boxes? Get him out! Take him and put him on a stake and light him on fire. What? Loot boxes? What the fuck? I prefer Nancy Pelosi's husband over a senator that buys loot boxes. Jesus Christ! Jesus! Then tell me how much taxpayer money you spent on Mountain Dew, you fuck! What the fuck? That's who I've been getting fucked by for all these years? Is Ted fucking Cruz? You piece of shit! You piece of shit! I find out you're fucking up all of our fucking laws, and you're fucking first! You fucking top 100 on the leaderboard and fucking the past 4 Call of Duties, you piece of shit! God damn it. You got 90 fucking World of Warcraft mounts? You fucking jack off? Abortion's illegal in some states now. Which is just great that they are buying loot boxes, not thinking about babies. They're literally gambling more on loot boxes. like they'd rather just gamble on loot boxes while other people have to gamble with their children and their lives. What a silly little thing, huh? The next thing that had come up that was very interesting to me was the subject of 3D printed guns. About 2 years ago, I had hung out with a buddy, and he had a 3D printer, and he's like, "You know, people are gonna be printing guns out of these one day." And I'm thinking, like when we're old, right? Like 10 years from now, they're gonna start printing guns out of there. Well, it's been about 2 years. Now you do still need metal parts, but I'm starting to wonder how long that'll be, right? Because I mean, even then, disassembling guns now easy as hell. Very interesting. Very interesting. And it's one of those things, too, it starts to raise the question, how much longer will technology be at the bane of time, right? You see technology and they go, whew, thank God that won't be around when I'm here. Thank God I'll be dead by then. When is it going to be that the first cell phone you see is all of a sudden in everyone's hands a week later, right? We're getting there, where production is the only thing stopping us. When's it going to be that you see a laser for the first time and everyone's got one in a month, right? It's interesting. Technology is evolving faster and faster and faster and faster. Things are getting smaller and smaller. And it makes other things look bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying? I also watched a very funny comedy special this week. I was going to say Stavros Halkias. Wonderful comedy special. He's got great crowd work. Definitely worth a watch if you like something funny. But this week I was getting real nostalgic too, thinking about things, getting real anxious. One thing that I thought back to was a magical moment in my childhood. The McDonald's Playhouse, right? Probably about, I'm going to age myself here, I don't mean to, but probably around 2000 to 2005 era. That was strong for me in the McDonald's Playhouse. You could go up, I remember there was one at my local McDonald's, you could go up into this tube, you'd get out of the center, and there's a little slide you could go out for little kids, or if you were daring, you could go up to the top floor. Now, when I was really young, I remember getting lost and not being able to comprehend which floor I was on. So I'd go into one tube, I'd go up the other one, and then all of a sudden I'd go up the other one, I'd be at the top, be like, oh, go back down, and be like, oh, wait, where am I? What's happening? Very trippy, very freaky. And so then I'd start taking rights and lefts, and I'd get lost. There's only like 9 turns in this whole thing, right? There's only like 9 different colored tubes. And so, but I remember like having panic attacks. I'd be like, oh, fuck. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stuck in here. I gotta set up shop. It's gonna be dark soon. I'm gonna need a bed. Hopefully there's not an ecosystem of animals in here. I know there's at least bacteria that will kill me soon. So it'll probably eat my flesh. But, yeah, it was a lot of fun. A little magical place. There's also another one that was really cool. That was right by my, well, not by anywhere, actually. It was far as fuck away. But next door to it, it had one's higher and one's lower, okay? So upstairs, right up here, there is a, like, pizza place. And you eat your pizza, you have birthday. Down below, you go under the ground, you go, and there's a fucking place with all kinds of, like, tubes up top. And a ball pit down below, so you can you'll be like on the ceiling up there, like held up by all that shit. So we would just go through, and oh my god, it was so much fun. It was just a giant place, and it was probably disgusting and dirty. And you could, like, I remember if you did it right, you could fall almost all the way down. There was like little platforms with just holes in the center that, like, if you fell, you just like, it was the best. It was crazy. As I was thinking about this, though, I had seen a story, and it was talking about the tunnels from Mexico to America. And I think to myself, a play place. These are the people we need. Now, I'll tell you what, alright? We get ICE, we get the FBI, and we just say, hey, I don't know who's making these tunnels, but can we at least get them to maybe make a McDonald's, you know? Can we put them in charge of some tubes? Just see what they do? Just see what happens, you know? I think it could be a wonderful place. We could revive McDonald Land. We've talked about this before. I've also thought, though, too, I don't think the wall is going to work, right? These guys are so fucking good with tubes. What are you going to do with a wall? They'll make a tube right through your wall. You could never. So I'm thinking we make it a moat. We make it 300 yards across and half a mile deep with alligators. I think we secure our borders, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's how we do it. So this week too, with the mental health and stuff and the emotions, I went on a walk, and I've been trying to walk a lot, but the medicine shit I'm doing, it makes me really fucking thirsty. So I try to go on a walk, but I'm getting thirsty, so I have to have a lot of water. I end up drinking a lot of water. I'm trying to walk a lot. About the 2.5 laps in, I'm halfway on the other side. I gotta pee. I don't want to piss in this public park. What am I gonna do? So I go to a good vantage point where I can see everything and no one can see me. I crouch down, I take out my pee, and I start peeing. I start looking around, eye to eye, just to make sure no one's looking at me, right? I look down. I've been betrayed by Mother Nature herself. There was a small, little, freaky-ass mosquito sucking my dick. I'm like, but now I'm just hitting my dick, and I'm just pissing everywhere. And I'm like, ah. And it was a terror. Luckily, I had avoided myself for the most part. But I got this freaky ass homosexual mosquito off of my penis. Moral of the story: I thought the neighborhood was safe. I started looking it up. There's crazy ass, freaky ass mosquitoes everywhere. They're registered. Couldn't believe it. The government's actually putting things in the mosquitoes' waters to make them more horny. This week I had also watched some, when I'm in this attitude, I gotta consume, right? I don't have a lot of good thoughts going on in my head, so I try to just tune into something else, try to have fun with it, right? Turn something on the TV, and I see this thing, and it just says, "This woman is the most jealous woman in the whole world." No. Really? Okay. So, I click on it, and you see this woman named Deb. There's people like that where you see their forehead and you think, what happened here? And it's if their body's like, where else do we put it? And they're like, shove it on the front of the head. And so basically, she is dating a guy who's very, very small, and he's got like the hair of like a school shooter in a movie, right? He's got very greasy, like he kind of looks like Greta Thunberg a little bit. And so this guy is basically talking about how she's very jealous. And so they go out to the mall and they come back, and she makes him take a polygraph. And you know what this polygraph entails? He has to put his thumb on an iPhone 4, and then it tells whether or not he's lying. And so they're doing this thing where he's putting his hand on an iPhone. She's like, "Did you think Madam B was attractive?" And he's like, "No, I didn't. No, I did not even a little bit." And then she's like, "Well, it says you lied. You like her? Do you like her? Even though you lied?" And he's like, "No, I didn't lie. I know the truth for myself." And so throughout this, you're like, wow, Lord forbid either she gain some sort of security, right? Figure out why she's like this and make it a little better, right? It would literally be less work to just work out and gain some confidence, or try to figure out a new hobby for you to do than just worry what your boyfriend's doing for however long, and so you can test him. But instead, she goes to a doctor and they go, "Oh, you have Othello syndrome." Oh, well, what is that? It means you believe your significant other is cheating on you. It's like, Jesus Christ. They have a syndrome for that? Just, you can't even be paranoid anymore without fucking some guy who has a name to claim it because he thought his wife was a whore. Imagine that. Imagine you're Miss Othello, or whatever. And your husband just is like, "Oh, honey, I named a new thing today." He's like, "What's that?" He's like, "It's after you, you cheating slut. Did you like it, Did you like it when he fucked you and I named something after you, you stupid cheating whore?" It's like, "Arnold, what is it?" He's like, "Okay, it's Othello syndrome, and it means that I have it." I don't, it is, is it really harder than working to be not jealous? Right? Is that harder? What's happening here? It's like people are biting off their arm because they have a cut. I don't understand. When I looked up Othello syndrome, or Othello, whatever, it said it is synonymous with delusional or morbid jealousy, which is not a good sign. This week as well in the news, Lizzo had a new song she unveiled, named Spaz. And so, a woman with cerebral palsy explained to her that her order is called spastic apologia or some shit like that. I'm close, alright? I'm fucking close. And so, she's like, "I'll have you know that whenever you say that, it makes it sound like we're crazy or freaked out, and we're not. It's a condition." And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll change the song's name." Right? And then another girl replies to that girl with cerebral palsy, or whatever the real fucking, I don't fucking know. And she goes, "I'll have you know," no, she didn't have it beat. She wasn't shitty. She's like, in the best of faith, crazy and freaked out are both slurs as well as spaz, and that's not very nice of you to use. And so then that woman had to also apologize. It's just so funny to see people like, "Oh yeah, you just can't keep up. It's just insane. It's just crazy," right? There's a lot of times where I just see some stuff and I can't believe it, and I don't know why exactly, but I just know I don't. And I'm pretty sure there's some stuff that's easy bullshit though, right?